no matter what
this is
you
part
think
of the motorcade.
Mr. Muhammad Ali's religion.
This is part of the living the real dream.
Certainly have to admire.
This is part of living the real Dr. King. And if we could find some 500 people that might have been at the ceremony for Dr. King in this motorcade, what a beautiful event it would be.
A young man willing to give up
For this is living the real dream of Dr. King.
Willing to give up millions of dollars in order to stand up for what conscience tells him is right.
We must ask the question, where are
that I can hear the voice
the 4,500,
crying
600
out through all of the eternities
that marched
to him this morning, blessed
on Martin Luther King's birthday, but they're nowhere on the day following Dr. King's birthday.
For righteousness' sake, rejoice.
Why is that?
Be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward. This we must see and move on in the days ahead. Now let me move on and say just 2 or 3 other things.
Reverend Rose is a minister in this community that he must be respected. I don't care what nobody say. They can call him a racist. They can call him a hater of white people. They can call him an agitator. They can say he's not doing God's will. He was just banned from a local ministerial alliance. He won't say nothing about it, but I can, because I'm not in the traditional setting anymore. I used to be. But when I woke up to the realities of life, I changed.
Increasingly by choice or by accident.
Moreover, I don't follow those people who just meet on a certain day, but can't stick with King.
Those who make peaceful revolutions impossible by refusing to give up the privileges and the pleasures that comes from the immense profits of overseas investments. I'm convinced that if we are to get on the right side of the world revolution, we as a nation must undergo a radical revolution of values. We must rapidly begin to shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society, when machines and computers, profit motives and property rights are considered more important than people. The giant triplets of racism, militarism, and economic exploitation are incapable
This is the reality of the dream.
A true revolution of values
of Dr.
will
King.
soon cause us to question
We've had 30 deaths in jail.
And justice of many of our present policies.
Many mothers and fathers call.
On the one hand, we are called to
Reverend Rose,
America.
I sit with Rose many times, and even my friends ask me, George, you know you're in love with that man. It's not that I'm in love with the man. I'm in love beyond a dream of Dr. King. If you just sit back and dream all the time, you are no threat. Nobody have ever criticized somebody for dreaming. In fact, nobody knows about the dream but the one person that's involved in the dream until they wake up the next morning.
Values will soon look uneasily on the glaring contrast of poverty and wealth with righteous indignation. It will look across the seas and see individual capitalists of the West investing huge sums of money in Asia, Africa, and South America, only to take the profits out with no concern for the social betterment of the country. This is not just. It will look at our alliance with the landed gentry of Latin America and say, this is not just. Western arrogance of feeling that it has everything to each other. Nothing to learn from them is not just. The true revolution of values will lay hands on the world order. Say a war, this way of settling differences is not just. This business of burning human beings with napalm.
We're going to take a ride, I think, around the Martin Luther King
with orphans and widows of injecting poisonous drugs of hate into the veins of peoples normally humane, of sending men home from dark and bloody battlefields, physically handicapped and psychologically deranged, and not be reconciled with wisdom, justice, and love. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual death. Oh, my friends, if that is any one thing that we must see today, is that these are revolutionary times. All over the globe, men are revolting against old systems of exploitation and oppression. And out of the wounds of a frail world, new systems of justice and equality are being born.
I'm right around the Martin Luther King Monument because in all truth, in my most humble opinion, I think it would have been nice if all of us would have rode around the Martin Luther King Monument to let people know that this is the day, this is the work of that great man. And I don't think there's much more honor than I can provide, I'm talking about me individually, than to just ride around this monument here in honor of Dr. King and in remembrance of those who had this built and installed here in Valdosta, Georgia. I do it in memory of Martin Luther King Jr., and I do it in memory of the very motorcade that I deviated from. I believe this is one of the highest honors I could give to show to the community that we respect Dr. King and we are carrying on the great work of that great man. This is kvci.blogspot.com. George Boston Ram doing what we do. Bye-bye. Gone.